All right, welcome back. Oh, wait a minute. Uh, But yeah, man, like I said, bro, Batman don't play games, and Batman's not about it for real. All right, the rest of y'all want to get online and fake the fuck and pose and pretend. And, oh, y'all want to have nice little conversations. You ain't about this though. All my ancestors were actual outlaws, man. We're who created all the frontier justice in Texas. There wouldn't be a Texas if it wasn't for my family. Just so y'all know. That's why I take this so seriously and why I talk the way I do and why I say the things I say, because they're all true. You understand? I don't just run my mouth. They're all true statements. You know what I mean? We're being nice to everybody. You know what I mean? For people to be in my country and show me no support, that's definitely a problem, bro. That's definitely not reality. And all these fools be delusional. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, like, oh, y'all. And I'm tired of hearing it. I don't put up with nothing. I don't tolerate y'all. Any nonsense. I don't be hearing nothing. Everybody runs their mouth. Everybody can talk. That's fine, but I could care less. I just don't be listening to y'all. But at the end of the day, like I said, I got a job to do, and it's very clear. Um, like I said, just trying to keep pushing right now. It's basically impossible. All these people made it impossible for me. But where there's a will, there's a way. But God, right? So that's what I depend on, and I'm doing the best I can, man. I don't know how I'm going to keep this bank account positive. Oh man, you can't. For real, thank you. You hear it? Yeah. Tune in, yeah. Keep tuning in. He just handed me money, y'all. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, son. You heard what he said? He said, "I like how you talk about God." He just gave me $2. Feel me? So, like I said, man, the message gonna get through to some people. You know what I mean? It's gonna happen. God told me he's gonna send some people my way to show me some support, man. That made me want to cry, bro. That dude just gave me $2. Went and pulled up and said, "Here's $2." As soon as I'm talking about it, that's crazy. He said, "I like how you talk about God." See, that's good, man, because that's the truth. It ain't about money. I'm not greedy. I'm not trying to get money to collect it. I don't have any money. Yeah, I'm poor, broke. I'm trying to get money so I can survive and do what the hell I need to do, you know, and so that I can keep doing God's work and, you know, keep on doing something positive for the people in the community. Like I said, it started down here, but this is going to extend. I mean, they're going to need me in Dallas, Austin, San Antonio. It's just clear as day. But like I said, I want the resources where I can really operate at the level I should be operating from. I need the Batmobiles. I need to be able to build my tumblers and my tanks. I need tanks. I need like this whole thing, man. I gotta have the whole thing, But the whole deal, at the end of the day, I mean, let's just get real. You've got all this gang activity getting out of control everywhere, right? Keep it safe because Batman down here. We don't have any problems down here. Straight up, because of me. I don't care what no one tells you. What nobody else, it was me, right? But when it comes to Austin and other cities, and I ain't been there in a while, that's what's happening. Trying to sit there and just have their presence be there to create fear and stuff, and we're just not going to put up with it. You know what I mean? Because these are the same gangsters that have been around since day one. I'm not against you, whatever the hell you claim, that's your deal. How you want to live and live your life is your choice. I'm not against you if you're part of a gang. Don't take it like that. But I'm just saying, I think a lot of the purpose, back in the day, they used to have the gangs that were created to stop the other gangs. So you had the gangs that were doing it to their own people and community, like you have today. And you had the ones like me, right, who would stop them. Okay, the difference is I'm not no gang. I'm by myself, dolo solo. I'm just me, Batman. I do it all by myself. I don't need nobody. You understand? But the whole point is just that we don't want that stuff in any of our neighborhoods or communities. Nobody does, clearly. And you're gonna have somebody who can stand up to them in the street straight up. And it just is what it is. It's the truth. You're gonna have somebody who takes them all, head on. You know, head on direct. It's the truth. It is what it is, man. I'm not gonna sit here and not spell it out for you what's going on in the reality. You're gonna have somebody who's willing to step up and got some hope. You know what I mean? That's why I don't like talking about it. I just like being about it. You know what I mean? Definitely need it. I know it's taking that so long. We need it as a whole, especially in Texas, man, because things are so active. And I just think that that's going to be my job purpose. I just think that that's going to be one of them, along with rescuing, probably, rescuing all sorts of people from different situations and different groups and different people, which they're all connected. I'm basically going to be coming up against the criminal underworld, just like the movies depict. It's all happening, bro. I don't know what you people tell yourselves what you think, but it's definitely happening. There we go. Yeah. Oh yeah. Um, you know, it's just a necessary thing, man. I mean, we got to stand up for ourselves, and that's the problem. People get too lax and too scared to take action and stand up for themselves, and that's the problem. You're leaning too much on all these different people, different agencies that aren't doing anything for us. And at the end of the day, the way it's going to work, like in Austin, is they're literally just going to have to send me into the street. Which no one's going to have to send me. I'll just walk right in the street like I always went in the streets. You know what I mean? But they're going to have to send that man just straight up out there in the street to deal with it all. It's just common sense. Straight up, you know? And, Batman is nothing but Batman in his hands. You know what I mean? All I need, that's all I need. Literally, that's all I am. Me and my hands, me and my good old hands. I got some hands on me. You know what I mean? Bring out the paws to play. You know? Nobody wants Batman to bring out the paws to play. Everybody wants to break out the paws. That's what we call hands, paws. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's a very necessary service for what we're going to need. And it's going to happen. It's just that simple. So what it is. So, I mean, in these northern cities, they're going to need it just like down here, right? And that's the thing, that's why I don't really worry. I don't worry about, you know, what people have to say about it, how they feel, what their reaction is. I mean, I don't care, you know? It ain't for y'all if you don't support it. If you can't see the point of it, it is what it is. But, yeah, my father didn't raise no punk. Okay? The rest of y'all like to say that phrase, but your father kind of did. I mean, nobody's built like me, man. It is like that's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need the actual tough guy. And it don't mean that I don't go through things or I can't take a loss or you know I'm gonna win every time. That's not what it means. But if I were you, I definitely would put your money on me every time. I wouldn't bet against me. I just wouldn't. You know what I mean? Straight up. Because, like, people know, man. People know I got an extra edge of resilience and toughness to me that nobody has. I didn't think I made it this far. So that's what I think this is all about. I think that literally, Tyree Steed, I think that Batman is going to be coming up against the criminal underground world by himself. And I'm going to win. Trust me. Well, I'm going to win. We just got to design the suits right where they're completely protected. But now I'm going to start really talking about the reality of this because it's becoming necessary. Like in Austin, you're gonna just need me around. I mean, you're gonna need me in the street to handle everything. It's just common sense. It's very easy to see. And see, the way Batman does things is, I understand, guerrilla, you know what. So I just kind of pop out of nowhere. What do you think I'm doing all this training for, smart one? So that I can get ready because it's going to be just like the movies. I mean, Batman can take on about 20 guys plus at once. I mean, literally, that's the truth. And I'm trained to do so. So I'm going to be actually stepping up the training as hard as you see me going. I'm trying to. And that's all. That's why I need some support along the way, man. But thank you to the guy who, he drove by, he handed me $2. Thank you. Seriously. I need a lot more. I need a lot more, in general from the public, but I'm seriously grateful for that beyond belief. I'm grateful for any little thing I get. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about God and God's purpose, and that's what I do, and that's why I'm doing this. I got called to do this. I mean, it's exactly like the movie, man. Like when they show like them throw off the bat signal, and it goes off the mirrors, and he's in the dark, and he just sits up like he's being called. That's exactly how it's going to be. I'm telling you. I mean, I'm just saying it's the future. I mean, if you want to know the truth, man, the truth, okay, is that I try to watch how I phrase things for a reason because I'm smart. But the world is obsessed with like Batman and the whole concept of the justice he brings. And it's just that's what time it's for. I'm just telling you the truth because the agencies they don't stop gang activity, do they? Correct me if I'm wrong. They'll talk about it, that they'll be able to do so far and so much, but they can't stop it. They're not stopping anything. They're showing up after it happens. And I'm not blaming them. I'm not saying anything negative or anything like that. It's not their fault, really. It really isn't. I mean, I try to be on their side and nice to them as much as possible. I'm trying to help them with what I do with this. I'm not like a mean Batman, you know. Um, I'm not against anyone. I think that agencies that are in place are there to help us and they're supposed to protect us. I just wish people would do their job a little more and people would actually do that and, protect and serve the people in the community. That's all. But my whole point is either way, their job description doesn't fit the criteria of stopping criminals or stopping gang activity. They're not able to do that. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, we're just going to have to quit being acute about it. We're going to have to just call it what it is. The world is going to need Batman, and I think that companies and places are going to start hiring me like as the security. That's what I think. You know what I mean? But when I do security, I'm doing Batman security. I mean, that means I'm not here to shake your hand and be nice to you and be a teddy bear. Okay, like no, you pay me as a job to do security, official, legit, on paper, on contracts and everything, and I'll be real security. Ain't nobody gonna play no game. You know what I mean? Not with me. That's what I'm there for to deal with it. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I mean that's what you need because then it creates a dichotomy of fear for these criminals, the criminal underworld, for the quote unquote gang members, right? Whatever. Um, and not everybody has to be part of a gang to be a problem in society. But you just need somebody who actually can stand up to them and knows how to handle people and is used to dealing with them. You know what I mean? And that someone is me. It's just the truth. If you don't have that, things get out of hand quickly, like what's going on right now. When you got clothing stores in Austin shutting down because of this very real issue that none of these people want to ever address head on direct, you need someone who will be direct and address issues head on. It's that simple. And it's not going to come in the form of a politician because all a politician is going to do is talk about things he knows nothing about. That's why it's kind of funny to me with that one guy. I like him, but for him to sit there and talk about the issues or whatever is kind of funny. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't really know about them. He ain't out here. You know? So, it's just different. It's different when you come from the actual experience, which I do completely. And man, I hope I'm not ruining my tires on this. People are so inconsiderate. They're pulling posts out of the ground. I don't know what they post. But yeah, um, like I said, man, I'm just trying to get people to support like that. If a bunch of people get together and say, here's $2 from each of us, like this guy just did. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, seriously. That's good. That means somebody heard me down here. That's the whole point. This is supposed to be about having a voice. Real people get it. A lot of people don't, though, and that's the frustrating part. Put yourself in my shoes. I'm not a bad guy, man. I just, I come from a lot of different things. I've been in this culture. I'm half Mexican. I've been in the other culture, and I've been in my culture. And, I stick out like a sore thumb down here, bro. I'm doing the best I can. I try to be nice, but, people who aren't going to be nice to me, I'm not going to be nice to. People who are, I'll be nice to you. Respect is earned, not given. And I just try to speak from my point of view. I don't expect everyone to agree with it. Um, but I've definitely never been politically correct, and I've never been the guy that's going to kiss up to you and tell you what you want to hear. I don't care how people take it. If they don't like it, I could care less. I'm just not that guy. You know what I mean? Because I can hold my own, and I back up everything I say. Okay? And not everything I say is literal either. So, but the point is, we need more stuff like that, man. We need more support. It still is basically impossible for me. It's like, if people give me cash, it helps me for the time being a little bit, but I need more. And, either way, it's still hard to get it all in the bank and stuff like that. So, right now, if I get cash, I'm just going to try to use it, grab me something real quick. That's what I need it for, so that'll help. So, anything helps, man. I thought that was pretty cool, man, because you don't have to do that. You know what I mean? Nobody owes me anything. They don't have to. I'm not entitled, man. I work hard with what I do. I work hard every day because I believe in myself. I believe in my cause. I believe in this, and I believe in what I'm doing. I really am a people's champion. I don't go against my people. I help them. But the problem is they've got people so brainwashed in all these different areas. They all like to go against and not support the people from your own community. And that's my issue. Y'all will go buy a Jay-Z album or stream his garbage. The dude can't even rap all day long. Me, I went worldwide independently as a rapper. I'm actually a worldwide independently established rapper. I've seen more money in my life than Jay-Z ever will. And he sold his soul. He's clearly a pedophile, right? And he's just evil and disgusting. But y'all will support that. It don't make no sense. That's what it's about. If I can wake up a couple of people or bring a couple of people to God, that's what I'm here for. It's real, man. If it wasn't real, how come all those people like Jay-Z and P. Diddy worship Satan? Why are they getting what they deserve finally and they karma and being exposed? Because that's the time we're in. They call it the end times. I don't think it's the end. It's only the beginning. But, the world is structured. It's being changed. The devil had his time. I think God is at work right now. So that's the thing. It's like me, I'm a walking miracle. I shouldn't even be able to talk to y'all or be here. Seriously, at all. I'm not just talking. A lot of these other dudes, they be talking. Anyone can put it to the test for me. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm saying is real. So it's like, if God brought me this far, I got so much faith in God, I feel like He'll carry me the rest of the way. He might have me live over 100. He might make me immortal. I believe that I'm immortal. I really do, because it's the only way I can still be going. That's what people don't understand. You know, I'm the only one who went through what I went through physically time and time again. I know what was done to me, bro. And this was something intentionally done to me that I'm trying to take people to court for, and they would be serving life sentences. So it's serious as it gets. For me to be able to keep doing this and keep going, I just put my faith in God, man, because it's all impossible. There was no way for me to keep going. So it's like for me to get this far, now my videos are jumping up in views. I'm listening to God talking to me along the way and these downloads, and it's telling me if anyone listens to me, you'll notice I make perfect sense, but you got to be on my wavelength, on my tangent. You got to be awoken. A lot of people are not awake, so they just think I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm awoken. There's a huge difference. I'm an awoken being. Been an awoken being for a long time. Every day I wake up more. I see this for what it is. The matrix. This is a system. You can break this system if you learn how to do it. There's a methodology. There's a method to my madness, and there's a methodology to breaking systems. I'm a system destroyer. That's literally what I am. I was sent to this planet to do all this. So it's like I know that I probably picked my life path ahead of time, and I picked this life because it's hard as hell. And I picked the hardest. I picked the impossible mission. I don't have a choice but to turn to God. It wasn't a choice. It wasn't. It was just what I wanted to do. It was where my heart was always at. He didn't let go of me. He came into my life. He grabbed me and said, "I'm not going to let go. You know what I mean? You're worth too much." But he didn't let go of me because I didn't know what was going on. I was just trying to do what I was doing and do the best I could. You know, I wasn't always at this point at all. You know, I was pretty lost and pretty depressed and lonely too. You know what I mean? Not that I still don't go through things and emotions and have issues, but I'm not as empty as I used to be. You know what I mean? Like real talk. The Holy Spirit will fulfill you, man. Seriously. And when you hear a guy like me that really believes like this, at this point, after everything I've been through, you know, I mean, it should tell you something, man, because I'm so educated. I used to break down all these other crazy concepts that were the kind of the opposite of what I believe now. God showed me he's real. Real talk. He showed me he's exactly who he says he is. Now all these evil people, the God they pray to and all that, you know, I'm not really with the Bible stuff, man. The Bible's all right, but the Bible ain't your God. I think the God they praying to is the devil. I think that's the whole trick. He ain't the same God I believe in. The God I believe in is a real God. He's love, cares. You know, he exists. But what is man going to do and what is Satan going to do? They're going to take it and flip the script, just like all these evil people try to do with me, and try to role reverse and try to paint the good people like we're the villains when they're the evil people. It's clear as day with me because I'm an open book. I'm completely transparent and I show you who I am and what I'm about. I ain't never done nobody wrong on this planet, man. I have a clean conscience. That's why people gravitate to me now or respect me. I used to be a lot meaner type of dude. That's what people don't get. I didn't used to be the kind of guy you could approach at all. You understand? I was mean. Okay? I could be one of the meanest people on this planet. That's what people don't understand. I don't have to be nice. If I was evil, I'd be a problem. I'd be a real joker and it'd be scary. Okay? But I'm not. I'm good. And everything I do, I want to serve good. And I want the truth to come out every time I speak, like Pop said. There's another honk. So I don't know, man. It's crazy to me because I don't even know what's going on, and I'm sitting here struggling, going through what I'm going through, you know, and it just sucks. And apparently, I'm reaching all these people in some way. You know, what do you think God is using me for to reach people and get the message through, to bring people to God the right way, the real God, the God that's love, the God that cares, the God that never abandons you, like He never abandoned me. You know, I'm not one of these church dudes. You can tell it's real with me because I'm a street dude. I'm a gangster. I was never no cute guy sitting in the church. It never was for me. I never liked it. Half the fake women I would meet, even when I was single, I couldn't stand them. To be honest, they'd be talking their hogwash, blah blah blah, and I'd be like, get up out of my face. They ain't talking about nothing. You know, like real talk. I don't like brainwashed people. When you just brainwash the religion, I don't like that. That don't make you righteous. It's about being righteous. Ask God. He gonna tell you. There's gonna be. It's like that. I saw a meme the other day. I think it was yesterday. It talked about how there's gonna be a lot of believers that, don't get into heaven. Like, yeah, because it ain't based off faith. It's based off being a good person. It's not conditional upon, well, you better believe in me. That's a dictatorship. That's how they put it by force. That's why you had the Crusades, right? Where we lost tons of people in the Crusades. Okay? All of that was pushing the Bible by force. They used to say, you believe in it, period, or else. That's how they pushed the Bible. That's how they pushed Christianity. What I learned a long time ago is that Christianity was a stolen religion. I learned that in jail in Atlanta. I've been around, bro. So if I'm telling you something, you should listen because I've traveled enough. I got way more. Dudes talking to me straight up in my face, telling me what it is. Feel me? At the end of the day, man, a Batman would have to be connected to God. That's why it don't make sense why he told me to do this. Me, it's all of me. I see it clearly. I'm totally aligned with my purpose. That's the only reason that this happened. I just waited for them. They were looking at one of the ways. Sometimes I can't see it. People are waving because they have kids on their windows. Hold on. It's so funny how they all look at me like, oh, life's hard. Times are tough. The struggle's real. I just be wondering what people think when they see me. It's hilarious. Uh, I got a sense of humor. But yeah, like I said, man, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how so many people like me, bro, because I just say it how it is. Like I almost don't expect people to like me, but I guess people like that I'm real now. That's good. That means people are waking up. I'm a nice guy, bro, but man, I just don't have patience for nonsense, bro. You know what I mean? I don't. I get right to it. But man, I hope God gives me this money, man. I really do, bro. I hope that somehow things are figured out. And I mean, God just gave me another sign today. There's another hawk. There, we got a good wave. Yeah, we got fans. See, it's like the whole valley is getting on board. That's good. See, that's why I talk like that. It's not that I'm mad at everyone. It's just I have to say things a certain way to get the point across. I'm not hypocritical ever. Trust me. I stand on what I say. But I have to deliver the message and keep pushing it and enforcing it. Sometimes you have to be aggressive in order to get people to hear it. That's why my methodology for doing radio was always to say something that was way past the line, right? Because that's what's going to grab your attention and you're going to remember what I'm teaching you. It's the truth. But the thing I'm happy about, man, is that I went the right direction. Because I'm the last one who should have, and I still did. That's what it's about. I've met a lot of people, man. Like when you go to jail, you know what I mean. You got the jail cats that they thump the Bible. I was never that dude. I still wouldn't be that dude, like. And if I was, I'd still be a gangster. Like I'm saying, the ones who dump the Bible a lot and they only talk about God or the Bible, they're normally trying to duck from someone and hide. They're usually a coward. They're scary. I'm not like that. I'm the opposite. I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, I'm a complete psychopath when it comes to that stuff, to be honest. We could just go ahead and let the cat out the bag. Like, that's why I love to do this. That's why I want to do this. Like, normal people, it's like you said, there's something kind of off about a guy that dresses up like a bat. Normal people don't want to go out in the street and come up against the criminal underworld and all the gangs. You know, it takes a special person. You know, I mean, you see what I'm kicking, I ain't hiding. I'm talking about it in broad day. I let the whole world know what I'm on and what it is and walk right in front of you. That's how I've always been. I'm a real man. I don't do this, you know, pop around and whatever, ring around the rosy. I'm gonna tell you straight up what it is and how I'm coming. You feel me? Like I said, if I get this money and I take this movement to Austin and Christina's with me, oh man, bro, it'd be fun, man. Like you know, it's just crazy. It's what I want to do. It's what I like to do. It's like game security, basically. Like what I love to do, man. You know, like imagine me getting paid on top of that, top dollar, to protect people. You know, what people don't understand is all these people can hire me. They could hire me as their security. Hell, Takashi 69 could hire me as a security. I just don't like it. I don't agree with what he's done. He represents everything. He represents nothing. He sold us the holy pedophile. Like I can't really, you know, forgive that. I can't really be your security. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Half the celebrities, I'd listen to the offer if they wanted to, you know, hire me as their security team, but I'm still going to judge the hell out of you. Sorry, this one here judges because it's necessary for my survival. I'm gonna still call it what it is and call you what you are and say, you know, I don't know if I could really do this for you or work with you because I don't agree with what the hell you've done. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, that's the thing. I talk to everybody. I deal with everybody. I just live life with open arms, man, because, you know, even those people, we try to bring them to God. You know, it doesn't matter what you've done. It matters. Don't get it twisted. It definitely matters, but it matters in God's eyes. But I'm saying I still believe in salvation. There's the wheel all messed up. I don't know if my bike is messed up. Hopefully not. But I'm going to do what I'm doing regardless. Tire okay? That's all. But yeah, I don't know. I just see the picture, man. I'm just saying it's just exciting for me. And, you know, when I get enough people, there we go, Morgan. That's what I'm saying, man. God is doing this, man. This ain't me. This God. That's God, bro. That's God in action, man. You know, that's why I'm telling you, I keep my faith, bro. You know, even when it looks impossible, I really do, man. I never, ever lose faith. You can ask God Himself. I don't. I never lose my faith. As hard as it is now, as hard as it's been, as hard as it's going to be, I believe in it. It shows me signs, man. The beauty of life. You know, life ain't about how much money you got. Life ain't about selling your soul to the devil. Life ain't about being a religious nut. Life is about believing in God. Life is about having a relationship with God. Life is about having love in your heart and having a relationship with the people around you. We have to take care of each other first. Yeah, I preach a different message. God doesn't want you to put Him before your family, right? That doesn't make sense. That's what a narcissist does. You understand? God is going to love you and your entire family. You know what I'm saying? God is going to want you to treat one another with kindness. That's why you give God His time like you do anybody. Not every single second, every single minute. That gets irritating. You know, I'm just being real. Like, I can't handle that. I can't handle people that's all they do and all they talk about. I'm not that dude. You know what I mean? But it has its time and place to proclaim it and talk about it. And, you know, God deserves His attention, man. You know, it really is saddening because the world just doesn't give Him enough attention enough their time. You know, so I hope that I inspire people to pay Him more attention. Because I mean, it's the truth. I mean, he just loves human beings. He loves all of us, and you know, the truth is that we're all connected. And like I said, to take a guy like me, man. I mean, I'm not fake, bro. I mean, people have seen a little bit of what I've been through. I got witnesses for things I've done and been through all over the place. You know, like I said, I'm just a straight dude. I came up hard, man. I'm not going to get on here and embellish who I am. I don't have to. My history speaks for itself. But take a guy like me, that was never really on any of that, and for me to be on what I'm on, and you see it shining in me. I mean, you can see my light, God's light that He put in me, shining every day. You can see it in my face. You can see it in my looks. You can see it in my training. You can see it in my movements, what I'm doing. I have an anointing over me in my life, man. That's what people don't get. You can't have an anointing and be rich all the time. That's the thing. That this time period is necessary for me. God's exact words say He will pick up His cross, He will carry His cross, and He will come with me. And that's what I'm doing. You see, I've been through actual resurrection. I'm resurrecting right now in front of your face. Actual resurrection. Yeah, yeah. I wasn't supposed to make it, bro. I'm resurrecting as we speak. I'm walking out of the temple the way He did, rising. You understand? And that was Satan. No, I'm just kidding. Bunch of rocks. Hope I didn't inhale it. But that's what I'm doing, man. On the third day, He rise again. That's what I'm doing. Rising, getting out of the temple, moving the slab. Man, walking out, man. Becoming the new version of me, man. It's all about what you speak, what you believe. That's what I believe in. You know what I mean? Studying frequencies. I study all the frequencies for music. That's how they built a lot of these old temples and stuff. They're vibrational frequencies, but when they use the solfeggio frequency and they use the designs and churches and stuff and places, because there's frequencies, silent frequencies going on that we don't even know about. That's why you can't trust your government. They sit there and they play with the music. They change the hertz and the frequencies of the music to throw your equilibrium off to make us go at each other. Everything was designed where they wanted to sit back and watch us do it to each other. That's why they put a liquor store and a you-know-what store on every corner, everywhere, and they tried to turn this world into a hood and a ghetto. I was way ahead of my time, and I saw that. So when I was young, I was already viewing and treating the whole world like it was all one big hood and ghetto. That's why y'all see me. I move different. You know what I mean? I come from the real hoods and ghettos before they got cleaned up. I was in them when I was 16 when they were active. You understand? I came out of areas and situations that make the news every single day for the worst crimes committed in the world. Seriously. And I wasn't ducking people. I wasn't scary. I was a man. I was actually the tough guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and act like I ain't never been scared. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I ain't never been through. I've been through plenty, dog. You know what I mean? I've seen every spectrum of life. I've felt fear. Been through it all, man. And my whole deal is not trying to be special, man. God just made me special. I'm a special kind of dude. I shine. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's a gift that God gave me. It's not something that you can pay for. Money can't buy it. That's the whole thing. Y'all all want to talk about money. You may have all this money. Yeah, what do you do all day? Half of these stocks just sit inside all day and don't do anything. I mean, you notice that people who claim they're rich, they never spend their money. See, I was different. I was always the guy who was rich and spent my money. I do things. I help people. Like I was going to Schlitterbahn every day, paying for everybody's ticket. I believe in being generous and, enjoying life with other people. I'm more about being happy than I am about money. You know what I mean? The ladies are looking like, but yeah, like I said, um, I don't know, man. I mean, I realized that, I realized this is gold, man. Like what I'm saying, like God is anything I touch is turning to gold right now. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. People it told me this. It told me about this ahead of time. It said your life is gonna change so drastically, so quickly. You're gonna have blessing on top of blessing just flood in, and people are gonna look at me like, never abandoned me, man. You know what I mean? I go through hard times, but he never abandoned me, and he gave me another chance every single time. That part really, really touches my heart, to be honest, because you know I don't know how. The other times I didn't understand how. I was super. I've always been super grateful, man. But this time around, I'm in the position mentally where I can actually give all the credit and glory to God and know that it all comes from Him. Thank people, ain't none of that. And I get frustrated sometimes. Like I say, I get on here and I say things I don't mean, and I apologize for that. But that's just being human, Like, trust me, God's heard me do it with Him, and He literally says it's okay. Let it out, you know. Hold on. Literally, what He says, like, it's all right. Like, He knows I get upset sometimes. I have every right to, I don't understand it. I don't understand any of this. Like, it's very upsetting, the whole thing to me, because I just don't get it. But like I said, we just need people to support right now. I'm saying it because it's the truth. But I truly believe that God is going to put it together. God is going to make it happen. Like I said, He told me, be still and know that I am God. I'm doing it. I just don't know how I'm going to do things. Like it's like my bank account right now. I'm trying to keep it positive. That's why I'm asking people to donate. I don't ask people to donate because I'm greedy. I ask people to donate because it's the only way I can get to my check and continue to run my business, man. And that's the thing that I do see that's happening. Like I'm bringing some unity amongst people, and that's why it's so cool for me when somebody does that, like they did today. The guy pulls over and says, "Hey, here," and gives me $2 and says, "I like that you talk about God." Like stuff like that is that's what I do this for, man. Right there, like those are miracles. Not for the money. It's not about the money. It's about the fact that I actually reach someone. You know what I mean? And it's about bringing people to God the right way. You know what I mean? Whether they already believed or not. But just the fact that just moments like that, man, that's good. That's what I do this for, to bring unity amongst people, because we definitely have a divide, and we definitely have enough people trying to create a divide, and more of a divide, that really isn't there. But the issues do have to be discussed and they have to be talked about. But there's a way to do it. I listened to that interview. Did y'all see that? It was pretty interesting. And Austin Metcalf's dad got on the phone and told the politician, he said, "I don't support nothing you're doing." He was really pissed at him. And he said, "Keep my son's face off of your campaign and your thing." And what I thought was really sad, and I do not agree with at all, and I really made me lose respect immediately for whoever that posing dude is. Like some of what he's saying makes some sense to look at the issue, but Austin Metcalf's dad is pretty smart because he said the truth that he's just increasing the divide because he is, and he told him you're being weak. I mean, that's just horrible. Like, how are you gonna say that to his dad after what he just did? He just lost his son, dude. Like that right there just made me lose all respect. That's when you can tell somebody is they're just evil. And even if they're not, they think that they really are because they think that what they're doing is good. And some of it may be good. He has a point that, we get targeted and we have different issues, but like, how do I put it? We need to point that out, but that's it. I mean, that's all. I mean, there doesn't need to be a great more of a divide. There doesn't need to be more division. There needs to be unity. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that is true. What he's doing is going to just create more division. He's a government agent, clearly agent provocateur, like all of them that was sent and probably paid a little bit of change, a little chump change to do that. That's why he's got his little suit on. So he don't speak for me. He don't speak for my people. If anybody's a representative for my people or anybody, it's me, man. I'm the original. My ancestors are who built this country. He's nobody. That's just the truth. Like I said, it ain't about money. He could have more money at a time. I'm sure he has plenty more money than me right now. Who cares? I have a voice. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we don't have to compare and compete. We all know that, nobody's come close to me financially in my actual whole life. I'm 35, bro. I've done it all already. But who cares? Let them think what they want. Let them tell themselves what they want. I don't care. I really don't. Because money don't make me. Money doesn't dictate a single inkling of my value. It just doesn't. like what the other guy was telling him, like, after I thought about it for a minute, like, dude, he's a father, bro, and he just went through this, and he's just asking him, like, have some respect for me and for the family, dude. I for sure would not have said something like that to his dad, bro, after what he just went through. Like, yes, there's an issue. I mean, it's clear as day there's an issue. I mean, where is this funding and money coming from? That's what y'all need to look into and investigate. Like I said, this is why you need a Batman. Because they all claim that they're the ones that do the investigations, the agencies, but they don't investigate it. They don't care. See, Batman is the world's greatest detective. The truth is, Batman could look into that stuff, especially with the money and resources, and figure out exactly where the funding is coming from, because that's funding domestic what? See, this whole Trump thing, Trump is just a puppet. He's really the face of domestic, you know what? That's really the truth. That's what it's all about. That's what this is all about. And that's what they're sponsoring and bringing in this country. That's why they let everyone come in through the border. Okay, it has nothing to do with being any way. They never protected our border in every country. They have a requirement as a government to protect our border. If not, the president has to be impeached. He has to remove himself, whatever, resign, right? Because he's not protecting a country. So they let all of the crime in, encouraged it, created it, gave them money. All that came from the government, bro. That's common sense. See what I'm saying? So, like I said, that's the point, is we live in a corrupt country, in a corrupt world. And it's so corrupt, it's unbelievable. And we have psychos running the country. So you have to have a Batman, because the Batman is the only one that can stand up to all of them. That's the truth. All them politicians, I guarantee you, they won't want to talk to Batman. They'll talk to everybody else. They're not going to want to have a conversation with me. They're not, because they know who I am. You know what I mean? They're going to come to an understanding. Everybody's, it's obvious they're going to learn who I am and hear my name. I mean, people are going to come to an understanding like, yeah, I don't want to mess with that dude at all. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the V for Vendetta movie. Basically, the symbol that I am in history. I'm just wearing a Batman mask instead of a Guy Fawkes. You feel me? I always said I looked a lot like the mask. I looked a lot like the symbol, the mask of Guy Fawkes. I'm a real revolutionary. I was born to do this. That's what God told me. He said, you were made and designed for a time like this. We're in the middle of what free. It's all coming. I mean, there's going to be a lot that happens. I just wish God would give me the money already so that I could actually help. That's the part that's discouraging for me, because it's genuinely what every fiber of my being wants to do is help. I don't have any back and forth with people. I'm not immature. I graduated high school a long time ago. I grew up a long time ago. It never took me long. I had to grow up quick. That's why these immature people that want to like sit there and act like we're having a back and forth, dude, I'm a grown man. 35, bro. I'm basically retired. I've done it all, seen it all, been there, lived life. Like, I've done what a lot of people wish they could in my life, and that don't mean, oh, it's not like, oh, that's enough. Like, no, I want to live life to the fullest. I feel like I'm just barely beginning life. You know, that's the thing. So it's like, I don't know, man. God is real. Karma is real. Justice is real. Vengeance is real. Frequency is real. Truth is real. That's why I just speak truth, man. I just speak truth. I don't care who likes it, man. And I'm always stand up on what I believe in and stand up for myself and stand on the truth that I'm speaking. But I also don't go around just looking for issues and stuff, especially now because there's no need. I've got enough issues I ran into as Batman, and I've won in every instance. So I guess it's kind of different when you make a career out of doing it. I don't have to prove I'm tough because every day I have to be tough for what I do here. So, like I said, I'm not a poser, I'm not a pretender, I'm a realist thing walking. And I just want people to understand that. I mean, I think God knows I'm ready, man. I'm ready, bro. Heart's in the right place. I'm seriously ready, I mean, the training is there, it's on point. I'm ready, man. I truly am. Like, I'm ready. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for the challenges. I'm ready for obstacles. I'm ready for all of it. Now, that's the thing people don't get. People want to claim they're tough and this and that, but what really shows you're tough? When the going gets tough, the tough get going. When things look impossible like now, and you still keep getting up and getting back up and coming harder, and that's what I keep doing. So, like I said, nobody should have anything to say about me, but except something positive. Like, yeah, I'm a guy. I've had plenty of money in my life. Who cares, man? Money's irrelevant, bro. At the end of the day, I'm a man who's been very successful, and I don't care about that either. I just care about God and my relationship with Him. I care about Christina, I care about our future, and I care about what I'm building. And I'm somebody that people should listen to that can teach you a lot about life. You know what I mean? And will steer you the right direction and actually help you. And God told me that's part of my purpose too, is to actually, I'm going to actually help people get through similar circumstances, hardships, really hard times. Because so many people just dismiss it, you know, and it's becoming such a frequent thing. Because, like I said, we're basically entering the Great Depression at this point. So, I mean, everybody's struggling, you know what I mean? But, like I said, just need to stick together and be in unity, and that's about it, you know what I mean? And if we do that, I think we'll be good, we'll be all right, you know what I mean? But, you know, I do this out of love for people, man. I love people in the communities, the neighborhoods. I got love for humanity. I got love for all of you, whether you like me or not, or you're against me or not. And just doing a service for humanity and for people. You know, it is what it is. I don't let nobody tell me nothing. I don't let nobody get in my way of doing so. But like I said, I just can see the future, man. It's too much gang activity going on all over the country. They're going to have Batman run up to Chicago. You're going to have me in New York. You're going to have me in Austin, Dallas, Houston, and all the roughest areas. I'm going to have to just go out there. And that's it. And it is what it is, what I'm made for. So it's not going to be that difficult, honestly. You know, so. And if it is, that's why God, you know, put me through all this. You know, that's the thing. And, you know, it makes sense. He put me through hell and all this training. He's been training me the entire time. Just putting me through the worst things possible. Literally, he put me through the worst things. Thanks, God. You know, but he did. It's true. I mean, but he's doing it. I think. You know, I believe and I know that he's going to think I know, but he's doing it for my greater good. I truly believe that. I think he's doing it to get me ready and prepared to save people and do all this to people because it ain't going to be easy. There's going to be times where it's always a struggle. It's the hardest thing to do. It takes a lot of resistance, a lot of capability, a lot of endurance, a lot of perseverance. It takes a lot of willpower, and I have it. So, you know, it is what it is. But I'm ready, man. God has given me ready. God got me ready, man. So hopefully we can get the money now and get the show on the road. You know, God knows I don't care about money. I use money as a tool to create my dreams, create opportunities. Said it in a reading just recently. But God knows what it is. The rest of you, I don't care. All right, please, if you can, show some more, you know, gratuity, donate. Cash up in the bottom left corner. People who want to hand me cash or whatever, that's cool. That's awesome. I need it all right now. I need all the help I can get. All right. So hopefully we get the public to get involved and realize I'm human too, and I deserve, you know, to survive and thrive and do well and run my business and be happy. You know, so it is what it is. I've had it very hard. Hopefully people will care and, you know, do the right thing and actually show some support and help. You know, that's all. I just want, you know, what everybody else has. You know, I've never had it. You know, I got the worst odds and the worst situations and the worst cards dealt to me, and I just do the best I can. So hopefully, you know, I believe God will change that. All right, I'll talk to y'all later, man.